Chapter 11. What's a Winslow? One morning, when the snow lay deep and white on the ground and the sun shone overhead, Louis wrapped Winslow in a blanket and took him outside, settling on the front porch. Winslow became alert, turning his small head this way and that, eyes blinking against the bright light. He put his narrow face up to Louis's and nibbled at his scarf. "Bit, bit, bit," he murmured. "Bit, bit." It made Louis laugh. It was the first time the donkey had managed that sound. Up until then his whimpers had always sounded like "Please, please." "Do you think you're a lamb, Winslow? Are you going to baa like one?" "You're supposed to say hee-haw." Winslow chomped on Louis's scarf, pulling strands loose. Louis was rubbing his face against Winslow's when someone said, "Hey!" Nora was standing on the sidewalk in her large black coat and her clunky black boots. On her head was a bright yellow knitted hat pulled low over her ears. Nora had big black eyes and black hair that poked out beneath the hat at peculiar angles. She looked rather like a bumblebee, Louis thought. "What are you doing with that thing?" Nora asked. "What thing? You mean Winslow?" "What's a Winslow?" "That's his name, Winslow. He's a donkey and his name is Winslow." "The one that's going to die?" "He's not going to die." "Don't be so sure." Nora took a couple of steps toward the porch, tentative steps, as if she expected something to jump out at her or scold her and send her away. "Want to hold him?" "Naw. Why would I want to do that?" "'Cause he's really soft." "Naw." "Bet, bet, bet." "Oh," Nora said, "it makes a noise." She had smiled automatically, but then caught herself and removed her smile. Winslow raised his nose in the air, smelling the air around this visitor. Within the blanket his legs pedaled. "He's squiggling," Nora observed. "I think he wants to get down on the ground, but I don't know. It might be too cold for him." Nora was now standing at the bottom of the porch steps. "You could try it, maybe. You could try to sit him down this shoveled part and see what happens, maybe, if you want or not." Louis unwrapped the blanket and set spindly Winslow down. He wobbled his long legs, bending this way and that until he managed to stand upright. Winslow turned towards Nora and took 2 steps, stopped, tottered, and then stumbled the rest of the way. He leaned against her, nudging her boots until Nora leaned down and patted Winslow's head. "Think he likes you," Louis said. "Naw, naw." She patted Winslow again. "You think?" "Naw, donkeys just do that, I bet. Stumble at anybody." "Maybe." "Well, I gotta go. Here, you better wrap him up again. You know what I bet?" "What?" "I bet you could let him run around inside the house. I mean, like upstairs instead of the basement. You put diapers on him." Louis winced. "Diapers?" "Yeah, I heard about some lady who did that with a lamb, so it doesn't stink up your house and make a mess." "Diapers?" "Yeah, diapers. I gotta go." Louis watched her leave in her big black coat and boots and that bright yellow hat. Chapter 12. Here Comes Trouble. The rumble of Uncle Pete's old blue truck announced his arrival. Uncle Pete was a large man, tall and stout, with mammoth hands and feet. His normal greeting was a booming "Hey there," followed by a pat on the shoulder, but the pat was so forceful it usually knocked Louis off balance. "Hey there, Louis! Whoa! Careful there! Don't fall over! You need some meat on them bones, boy!" Uncle Pete was a childhood friend of Louis's father. Not really an uncle, but that's how Louis's parents had always referred to him. "Here comes trouble," Louis's mother said. That's what she usually said when she saw Uncle Pete. "Ha ha, that's me. Trouble is my middle name." His cheeks were red from the cold. "Wicked out there today. How's that poor donkey doing? Did it croak on you?" "It was doing good until this morning," Louis said. "Come and see." Louis had fed Winslow late the night before, and the two of them had settled down to sleep. Winslow in his small pen and Louis on the nearby cot. Usually the donkey woke up around 4 a.m. for another feeding, but Louis had slept soundly through the night without hearing Winslow. When Louis did wake, it was almost 7 o'clock and he felt relieved. Now maybe Winslow would continue to sleep through the night. For the past week, Louis had been groggy all day long, never feeling fully awake, always feeling as if he could fall asleep sitting up. When he opened the pen, Winslow did not scramble to his feet or turn his head towards Louis, or as he usually did. He made no sound, no pleas, no byes. He was laying on his side, his breathing shallow. When Louis lifted him, Winslow slumped in his arms, still not waking. Louis rubbed his sides with a blanket and dipped a cool cloth against his face. "Oh, Winslow, come on, what's the matter? What's wrong?" Louis tried to recall if he had done something wrong, if he had mixed the formula incorrectly, or if the bottle had not been clean. But he could not think of anything he had done differently the night before. He summoned his parents and ran next door to get Mac's father, who was not a vet, but he knew about animals. Mac's father said, "Some kind of infection, probably. Need to have a vet check him out. Get some antibiotics in him." "Did I do something wrong?" Louis asked. He hugged Winslow to his chest, stroking his head. "Newborns are fragile," Mac's father said. "They can catch any old thing drifting through the air. It's a wonder any of them make it." Mac's father called a good friend of his, a retired veterinarian, who came over right away. After examining Winslow, the vet gave him 2 shots and left a prescription for additional medicines. "It's okay, boy," the vet said to Louis. "He might make it, but if he doesn't, you're doing as much as you can. These things happen. You can do everything right, and yet—" His unfinished sentence hung in the air. Before leaving, the vet said, "You'll have to give him one of those shots each day for at least 10 days. "What? Who, me?" Louis said. "I'll show you how. My grandson can do it, and he's only 9. "Give a shot? You want me to give a shot? Watch." He showed Louis how to fill the syringe, check the level, tap it to release air bubbles, insert the needle, and release the medication. "Practice on an orange. You'll be fine." But, you can do it." By the time Uncle Pete arrived later that day, Winslow was a little more alert. He had taken a few ounces of milk and had opened his eyes, but he still had not stood, and was still breathing shallowly. Uncle Pete touched Winslow's gently, his huge hand enveloping the donkey's body. "Yep," he said, "he's a sick one. Too bad. Kind of amazing you got him to live this long, though." "But he's going to make it," Louis said. "Well, his mother didn't make it. My LGD died yesterday. That birth must have been harder on her than I thought." "But Winslow will make it," Louis insisted. "He will, he will." Later that day, Louis remembered that Gus had once told him that LGD meant little gray donkey. "Winslow, you are my LGD, and you're going to make it, right?"